Hey there, this is Glenn with Modern Explorer back home in Florence, Colorado on the Arkansas River. I love it down here. But we just got back from Vernal, Utah to Phenomicon. My wife and I went there. Unfortunately, Mateo couldn't make it this year, maybe next. But we had a great time spending a week there listening to people tell their stories. In case you don't know what Phenomicon is, it's Utah's paranormal conference in Vernal, Utah. It's only about 30 miles away from Skinwalker Ranch and very close to Blind Frog Ranch, and a lot of really cool petroglyphs are out there. We just had a great time hearing, in a beautiful setting, hearing some fantastic stories and encounters. Again, the cast from Skinwalker, they sat down probably 3 or 4 sessions and talked about what was going on the ranch. We also got to talk to the folks from Blind Frog Ranch. They came and did a presentation. Expedition Bigfoot, they did a presentation. Travis Walton, the fire in the sky UFO abduction story from, I think it's Arizona in about 76, he was there doing his presentation. So we got a lot of cool speakers talking about all sorts of a wide range of things, from the paranormal to UFOs to Bigfoot to whatever, and giving insights, ancient history and stuff. And it was really cool. I was afforded the opportunity, because we had a media pass, to sit down and interview some of these folks. So I got to do a little formal interview with Russ Accord from Expedition Bigfoot. We had about a 15-minute sit down and chit chat and had a great time with that. I talked to the director and producer of a new film. This is really cool. It's A Flash of Beauty, Paranormal Bigfoot. It was a really neat movie. We got to see the preview of it. It's coming out October 17th on my birthday, actually. And so we got to check that out. I got to interview them, hear their story and what's going on. Talk to a number of people in a little more formal interview session. I'm going to be sharing all this with you guys over the next few weeks as just Phenomicon updates and interviews and stuff. But they're really intriguing. It's good stories. I also got to do some informal video interviews, sitting around, hanging out at the conference center, just talking to people. And that's what I'm going to be showing you today, is one of those informal interviews. A couple of ladies were sitting at the table next door to me, and we were just chit-chatting, and they said, oh yeah, we got some cool stuff on our phones. And they showed me some pictures. I'm going to let them tell their stories, but there was a lot going on. There's probably 1,000 people there. There's probably 1,000 stories. So let me know what you think on the other side. And if you like what we're doing, be sure to subscribe, notify, do all that cool stuff. Comment below. Let me know. That all helps with the algorithm so that we can get this word out. But again, I'll see you on the other side, and I've got more information for you. Cheers.
20, 30 yards away was this thing peeking over this pine bush.
It was a large, hairy animal, dark brown, black hair.
All of a sudden, this creature let out I want to call it a blood-curdling, growling, howling scream.
That's when I realized it wasn't my friend that had snuck up on me.
Dude, all the branches that are broken off are red.
That's crazy. There's no medulla.
Hey, here I am at Phenomicon during a lunch break. And as you see, there's tables everywhere, and there's people everywhere, and there's 1,000 stories around here. Now I'm sitting next to 2 lovely ladies who do not want their faces shown, but they have some very interesting photos. You're from Tucson?
No, I'm from Plymouth, California.
From California, and you're from Tucson. And both you guys, this is your second year, both of you? And now I'm not showing you, but you can see Phenomicon. But you both have cool photos on your phones, and so we're going to discuss that. I'm going to zoom in on your phone as best I can, and we'll see what happens. But tell me your story first. Okay. Do you want to tell me your name or no?
Oh, my name? Yeah, I'll tell you my name. I'm Sharon.
Sharon, okay.
Okay, and so my granddaughter loves to take photos as they take trips. So they're going up to Jackson Hole, and that is in July of 2021.
Yep, let me zoom in on that. So now I can zoom. That's
yeah,
awesome.
there you go. So it's just a common photo, and then I'm going to switch it over to...
And I don't want to get any personal information, so here's Bigfoot.
Sadly disappointed, so... Anyway,
But we like Bigfoot. We got lots of cool stickers on this one. Okay, ready? Here we go.
So here's the photo that she took as she's driving, and you'll notice that there's a little white dot up above the mountain, and she wondered if it was the moon or whatever, and then she zoomed into it, and I'm going to have to turn this around sideways. Sorry, it's not going to be very good, but anyway, so that when she zoomed in, that's what it was.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And she didn't even see that as they're driving.
No, and she's constantly taking photos as she drives. So
that is amazing.
And to go from
And they took a whole series of photos.
Yeah, she's always taking photos. So to go from just something like
that just a normal
click.
landscape photo. You know, I've talked to 3 or 4 people that are doing the same thing. They're just taking landscape photos.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, this is on my... There's something in there. Which makes me wonder if it's not if we can't see it, but we're picking up with technology at times.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. So okay, so I'm going to have you guys change places.
Yeah.
And this is Leanne from Tucson, who was also taking some random photos of the moon.
Right.
On
I was out on the deck, and thought the moon was beautiful.
And this is October 8th of 2022.
2022. And about this particular shot is 6:16 p.m. But I was just taking the pictures. The Rincon Mountains or the mountains range.
Let's go to the previous pictures.
Okay.
Before we do this. Okay,
So
so there's
here's
just a
the
nice
one
picture.
Before.
And this is at. Oh, look, you have a whole
information.
series of photos there.
I started taking photos at about 12 after.
Okay.
So I have several photos, but this is the right before what I caught in the sky, and so that's at 6:15.
Okay. Wait a second. Now,
Okay, you want to go back?
That bright spot underneath there, is that anything, or is that just something coming through the clouds?
I'm not sure. It's on several shots, the same exact place. And it's even in the other one.
That's really interesting that it's right underneath the moon, though.
Mm-hmm.
Can we... now I messed up your phone.
No, it's.
I think it's just a sliver of light. Well,
probably a cloud behind it. See, there's a white cloud
yeah,
behind it.
but that's really
Isn't that
interesting. It's so distinct.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we're talking about.
No, we're not talking about that.
Okay.
And so then the actual photo here, if you look at the sky, you enlarge it, you get this box in the sky.
Now, like I said, I've seen that in other photos where there's a box. It looks like a TARDIS in the sky.
Like a Borg ship.
Like a Borg ship, yes, exactly.
Although I call it the doorway to heaven. But anyway, so...
well, good, because I want it to be the Borg.
So you can even see the clouds in front of it and around. I mean, it's just really an odd thing.
That's really
and then the picture right after, same.
A minute later.
Nothing.
And it's gone.
We have nothing.
Let's look down at the moon. Again, I don't see a sliver. Well, okay. I don't see that there. Let's go to the previous one. Let's just see. So there's... I'll let you drive. So the Borg ship's up there. Okay, so that does look like it's a sliver in the cloud.
Mm-hmm. Then the picture before.
It's very distinct, the sliver in the cloud. The Borg's gone.
No Borg. but I have a whole series of them. You can see the little white cloud coming through.
Okay, so I'm thinking, that's probably just a sliver in the cloud.
But the box in the
sky
is
an
what is
amazing
interesting.
thing. Well, thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. Again, this is an amazing little story. So without, like I said, all these people here, I'm sure, have a story. And they're sharing them amongst people that also have experienced something interesting. They don't know how to square it up. but we're all trying to learn and share together. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And
Good
we're
old
off.
Tucson, Arizona.
Go Tucson. Cheers. Okay, so this is crazy. So you're my table mates.
Yep.
We're sitting here during a break, and you just told me something really crazy that just happened yesterday?
Day before yesterday.
The day before yesterday. Tell me the story.
Okay, we were in Trey Hudson's breakout session over at Split Mountain 3 and 4, I think. And he was just getting started with his presentation. And there was a young gentleman sitting in front of me that just jumped up and said, "What's that? Look at that!" and ran over to the window. And so I glanced up to it and I saw it, so I jumped up and run over there too, along with 3 or 4 other people. And it was just like a snow white, oblong shaped UAP. And there wasn't another cloud in the sky. It stuck out just like a bright white spot. And it was fairly close because I was gauging the street lights or the parking lot lights, and it was just barely above them. So it was fairly close. If it had been further away, it would have been lower, a little lower on the horizon. And it was moving to the northwest. So after I couldn't see it in the window anymore, I'm out the door and heading outside to look to see if I could see it, and it's gone.
Wow.
So, but
It wasn't an airplane.
no.
It
No.
wasn't.
It wasn't a helicopter, it wasn't an airplane, it wasn't a balloon. There was no wind that day that would have, if it had been a windy day, yeah, you maybe could have said, oh, it was somebody's balloon that got away, but it didn't look like a balloon at all. And no wind, and not that high in the air, and moving at a fairly decent clip for no wind. So if it had been a balloon or something, I went outside, I would have still seen it. It was gone.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for sharing that,
Sure.
man. You want to show me the window?
I can.
Let's do that.
All right.
Let's go do that. Okay, so this is the room, Split Mountain room. So you were just sitting here.
We were sitting. I think we were sitting right here.
Okay.
And the gentleman that saw it was sitting here in the second row. And he just jumps up and he points. And so I run up and I see it. By the time I get here, I see it.
And this curtain isn't here at the point.
No.
It was open.
It was up.
I don't know how
I'm
to
pretty
make it
sure.
open, but
I'm pretty sure it was up.
okay.
But anyway, and then it was, to see it was probably a couple feet below the eave there.
Okay.
And then kind of went in behind the tree.
Uh-huh.
And that's when I got up and ran out the door.
It is amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
and there's no way you mistook it for something else.
No. We live next to we're next to a military base in
Yeah.
Kansas, so pretty close. We see helicopters and jets and we got a bombing range west of the house 20 or 30 miles, so we see all sorts of
And this was like
military aircraft, and this was nothing.
no
like
flashing.
that.
What
No-
color?
No lights, white.
Just white.
Just solid wedding dress white.
And was it oblong or was it round?
It was an oblong shape.
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't completely round. It was oblong.
And this was at night? No, daytime. I'm sorry, I thought it was day.
No, it was in the middle of the afternoon.
Wow.
Trey Hudson just started his presentation, and we interrupted him because we get up and run over to the window.
Oh my gosh, how
And
many
he
people
stopped.
saw this thing?
It was there's 4 or 5 or 6 of us at least. Yeah.
Wow. Did other people run the other
No,
window?
Nobody, because they didn't. They wouldn't have been visible in that window.
Okay.
It was just right here, and he just looked up and said, "Look at that!" And so we jump up.
That's crazy.
It was nuts. I've never seen anything like that.
That is amazing. Well, thank you for sharing.
Sure.
It's just amazing stories.
it's so
And you've
amazing.
got a cattle mutilation story. We'll sit down and talk about that later.
Okay. That's
Okay.
All right. very
Sounds
good.
awesome.
Is I'm giving the briefing, giving the lecture, everybody's kind of getting into the groove, and all of a sudden, much to my chagrin, that's a word you don't hear often, is, to my surprise, a lot of people popped up, with these looks of exclamation on their faces, and they rushed to the window just over my shoulder and started looking out. And what they described to me, because it was to my back, I did not see it, is they saw a UAP through the window while we were at a conference about UAPs and high strangeness, and yet there we were. You know, we had actually a UAP appear, you know, with multiple witnesses, you know, outside of this the Vernal Convention Center.
As we're thinking, what time of day was this, do you think?
I'd say, well, it was the afternoon Saturday. It was that 1 to 2:40 or 2:30 session.
Okay, so the sun, I'm trying to go what?
Straight up or
okay, so
behind us by
it's about, right now it's about 1:30. It's about the same time. So the sun was very high.
Right.
So it wasn't like reflection from sunset.
There was no glare. There was no glare at all. No. It was right there.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, strangest.
Awesome.
Blew me away.
We were talking about some of the places that I'd been and hauntings and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, you know, everybody or quite a few people in the room were like, whoa, stop. What's that? You know? And I turned around. I didn't see anything. But what they had seen is some sort of phenomena behind me in the window. And since I didn't see it, I don't know what it was, but they described it as a UFO or UAP coming by the window, or some sort of, another lady mentioned, you know, like spirits or orb or that sort of thing. But I don't think that's what it actually looked like based on what other people were saying.
So here we are at the end of the deal. I've been looking at postings on Facebook because I posted what you guys saw.
Okay, cool.
One guy said, how do you know somebody didn't fly a drone past the window?
I know what a drone looks like. I have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
He says, what about somebody flying an airplane or flying something as a goof to everybody here at Phenomicon?
I know what an airplane looks like. There wasn't any airplanes around.
So this was the real deal.
This was an oval, white, fairly quick-moving UAP.
And was it?
No wings, no sign of propulsion. The wind was not blowing. It was moving too fast to be a balloon.
And you ran outside to check this out.
I ran outside to check it out. Yes.
Well, thank you.
Sure. Anytime.
Well, what'd you think? That was really cool because here you are taking random photos of a sunset, a landscape of whatever, and finding something in your phone that you didn't see with your naked eye. I thought that was really cool. And because it's not only these ladies, because I've heard of this plenty of times, both where you see something and take a picture and it doesn't come out, or you take a picture that you didn't see and it did come out. That's really intriguing. Or multiple people seeing different things, and yet the camera reads even a different image. I don't know what's going on there. But it's not just from Phenomicon that I got these stories. I actually have a story from right here in Florence where a guy was driving to Canyon City on 115 on the back road there, pulled off, take a picture of the sunset. Lo and behold, in the photo, there's something. Don't know, UFO, don't know what it was, but it's a clear photo, and I hope to be interviewing him so you can see that too. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. I'm going to continue doing local interviews with people, getting their stories, going on site and such. And I look forward to doing all the more of that and getting out and exploring myself. Again, Mateo's up in Crestone area. He's doing some cool stuff up there. I hope to get some stuff from him. We've been collaborating on where we want to go. But, you know, let me know. If you or anybody you know has had a cool story, share it with me. Encounters at modernexplorer.me. I'd love to document your story. And until we see you next time, cheers, and thanks for watching. Bye now.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.